So 8 weeks of the NFL season. Done. Gone. In the rearview mirror. We're almost halfway through for everybody. So it's time for some updated power rankings. You read them a week in the description box below. What are we going to talk about this week? Well, the lack of change at the top. The Rams are number one. They're the lone undefeated team. They had a big test Sunday against Aaron Rodgers coming off of a bye in Los Angeles, which you classify not as a home game for the Rams, more of a neutral site type of game, bordering on a bit of a road game, just without the travel. But the Rams found a way to get it done. They're the lone undefeated. They stay at number one. The Chiefs stay at number two. Another win against the Broncos. They're at 7-1. He got more Mahomes magic. He had like 26 touchdown passes on the season. Just crazy. 7-1. Kansas City Chiefs. Who'd have seen that coming? Number three, you probably can see this team being in the top four. The New England Patriots. After some early September scuffles and struggles, here they sit at 6-2. Another dominant victory, this time over the Bills on Monday night. And they look like they're right back in the fold as a legit contender in the AFC again. No big surprise. And the New Orleans Saints stay at number four. You can maybe almost make an argument they deserve to be higher than the Patriots. They're 6-1. Just had a nice victory on Sunday night, getting some revenge over the Minnesota Vikings. You know, this Saints defense can play at least up to a certain standard, even losing Davenport for a little while. You got Drew Brees and how great he's playing at this stage of his career, a team that can really run the ball. They got some explosive weapons on offense. The Saints are a legit Super Bowl contender. I do want to call out some other teams, though, specifically in the top 10. I look at the Carolina Panthers at number 5, the Chargers at number 6. It feels like these are two teams, both 5-2, with quality quarterbacks, star quarterbacks, and nobody's talking about them. Nobody's talking about them. And the Chargers haven't had Joey Bosa. You look at the Panthers, and this is a team just a couple of years ago that was in the Super Bowl, was in the playoffs last year. I mean, these are both potentially legit teams that could make some noise in January in the playoffs. 5-2, nobody talking about them. What happens when you play in the division with Patrick Mahomes and Drew Brees, I suppose. But I guess for now, they can just keep flying under the radar because they're playing some really good football. The Steelers are starting to work their way up. They're up to number 7. They handled the Browns relatively easily. And now you look, the Steelers are 4-2-1. I don't know if I'm fully sold that they could be a championship contender, but they seem like they're starting to figure things out a little bit. The Vikings, yeah, they're 4-3-1. I've got them at number 8, and that does seem a bit high when thinking about it. But they've had a really tough schedule. They're still a good team. I don't know that they're a great team. Just the dynamics from one year to the next change. But it's not a team I would want to play necessarily, especially come playoff time. Because if that defense is right and Cousins is doing big things in the passing game with Thielen and Diggs, the Vikings could, in theory, beat anybody. I wanted to focus on the Washington Redskins for a bit of a second. You know, this is a team that I talked about before the season. I didn't really see it, but I thought, you know, if they could run the ball, granted I thought it would be maybe with Darius Geis, and that defense was going to be better than people anticipated, that maybe this team with a quarterback like Alex Smith who controls the game and doesn't make a lot of mistakes, you know, maybe they could, but I didn't really see it. But man, they're 5-2. Adrian Peterson is having a great kind of last hurrah type of season. That Redskins defense is really good. 5-2 is 5-2. They're leading the NFC East, and by a couple of games at that. Who the hell would have saw that coming? Really? Who would have seen that coming? Not this guy, that's for sure. And I just wanted to make sure I call out before the Redskins fans and Redskins Nation gets all upset. I'm noticing what your team's doing. I've seen what they're doing, and I'm starting to respect it and starting to buy into it and believe in it. And if you're going to say, well, you know, you bashed on the Alex Smith trade, all right, just wait until January potentially, and then you'll find out what's really all about. But that doesn't mean that this isn't a guy that you can win a lot of regular season games with, especially if you can run the ball early, get a little bit of a lead, and let that defense kind of take over. Alex Smith can be a good, effective quarterback in those type of situations. And we talked about some of the really good teams. Let's talk about the ones that bring up the rear. The Bills at 28. You know, their defense played it close to a playoff level for about 3 quarters against the Patriots. Their offense absolutely sucks. It's a bad team, really bad team, and they're just going to go through the motions, and they're battling it out for a top 5 pick, and everybody knows it. The Arizona Cardinals, they got their second win of the year, beating the 49ers. They're still a really bad team, but at least they could say they're starting their rookie first-round pick quarterback, and if anything, this is about his development for the future. The 49ers are at number 30, a team that was already overrated heading into the season based off of what, a sample size of 5 games of Jimmy G? Oh, lo and behold, what do you know? Jimmy G is missing most of the season because he got a freaking knee injury. Jeez. This team wasn't that good to begin with, even with Jimmy G, frankly, if we're being really honest. And now the bottom's kind of fallen out. Now C.J. Beathard's not even starting. And, yeah, it's going to be bad. And the Niners are right in the mix to get potentially the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft, as are the Oakland Raiders. Khalil Mack, gone. Amari Cooper, gone. Yeah, they're in tank mode. And frankly, even if they weren't in tank mode, they're still tanking because they absolutely suck and John Gruden sucks. But even as bad as they've been, the worst team has to be the New York Giants. They just stubbornly cling to this fascination with Eli Manning, and I don't get it, and I don't know why. You got an offense that has Odell Beckham Jr., Saquon Barkley, and Evan Engram. You can blame the offensive line all the fuck you want, but you've got Odell Beckham Jr., Evan Engram, Saquon Barkley. That trio is perhaps the most explosive skill set trio in all of the National Football League, and you're 1-7. 1-7. How bad do you have to suck? How bad are you to have those weapons on offense and be 1-7? Blame the defense, I'm sure. Blame the schedule, I'm sure. Blame the offensive line, sure. Maybe blame the coaching staff, sure. They all contribute to the problem, as does Eli Manning. The Giants need to get over this hard-on for him, admit they were fucking wrong by not drafting a quarterback in the first round, and keep it fucking moving. Because at least at this point, you could say you start somebody else like other than Eli. Maybe either A, you got some reason for hope, or B, you ensure that you tank and potentially get the number 1 overall pick so you can take the kid from fucking Oregon. Unbelievable. Those are the power rankings for this week. You can check them out. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section. I'm out of here.